So, good evening, Ashwani sir. That is how we refer you. But you have a long, I think, introduction. आपके नाम में इतने सारे designations जुड़ते हैं, group captain, retired, VSM. That it takes some time to rather pronounce this and write your profile. So, but over the years, I think it's been maybe 12 years plus, over a decade.
Yes.
Since we met. And I know your profile word by word because I have written your profile many times, and every time I do that, every time we send your profile for some of the other webinar, we feel very very honored क्योंकि सर आपने राष्ट्र की सेवा की है, not just in words but in real spirits. And let me introduce you to our audience who possibly are meeting for the first time, and then we have people from across the borders also, from different continents. And I'm sure as we start spreading this recorded session of the webinar or the series, rather, let's call it, more people would come to know, about you. And I remember there's a very special photograph that you showed me, I think, which was on your phone or laptop somewhere, which we saw. There's a Jaguar plane, and you're right here in the center with your students, who were definitely, who were obviously pilots. The students, not as in students, they were not under training, but actually rather students of life, I would call, because they fought with you. And as I also understood that in Air Force, the group captain leads from the front, which may not be with other other forces of the military, where the seniors are leading from maybe the base camp or the command center. But here the leader takes the brutal attack or the main brunt, and you are risking. And I understand what various stories we heard from you over the years as to the Kargil war itself came as a surprise to everyone. In fact, we had you have told us that even you were not made aware, whether it was an actual war, because the government had also probably not understood or probably wanted to keep it under wraps, because I think surveillance was being done, reconnaissance was being done.
Right.
Also understand from that you were given, I think the role that you served was 50-50. One was reconnaissance, and the second was to go deep into the enemy state, attack their important installations, be it bridges, flyovers or military installations. और सर ये आपने बहुत बखूबी निभाया, और उसके लिए बहुत बहुत सर धन्यवाद for the extra seva. And what we also understand from you that the Operation Vijay was not the end of it. Indian Air Force under the operation name Safed Sagar continued to monitor activities, and especially flying activities in the Himalayas, on the peaks of it, with the help of Indian Air Force, क्योंकि डर था कि शायद कहीं ये वापस जो एनिमी है वो पाकिस्तानी है वापस अटैक न कर दें. और मुझे ये भी बहुत अच्छे से याद है, it reverberates in my ears when you said कि we were flying at a height of almost about, I think, 1,000 feet or plus, where Siberian cranes also fly at that time. So they are entering India, and it was a big risk to your students who are actually pilots, students, क्योंकि आपने सिखाए थे उनको, लेकिन actually तो वो फौजी थे. And sort of we understand now, I think I can speak about it, that you were not very happy about because the planes, I think, the engines were running out of, being worn out due to lack of oxygen at that level. And finally you had to request your seniors and the government that the operation should be wound up, क्योंकि एक पिता के खातिर, एक टीम लीडर के खातिर, एक सीनियर के खातिर, obviously आप you wanted to protect and safeguard the life of the pilots, the young pilots who had just started their career. और definitely आप तिरंगा पहनना तो बहुत शान की बात है, but I'm sure you never wanted the bodies to be returned with a tiranga covered, and they were too young, and you actually sacrificed many medals because ऐसा लगा शायद लोगों को कि आप सही decision नहीं ले रहे थे उसमें, but we understand that it was taken in the right spirit. And बहुत सारी कहानियां हैं, मतलब मैं जितना बोलूं, एंड ऑन कैमरा आई डोंट नो हाउ मच आई कैन स्पीक. 3 विशेष सेवा मेडल जिसके लिए आप यू वर नॉमिनेटेड एंड फाइनली यू वर चोजन फॉर वन, because obviously it has to follow the seva medals also have to follow certain protocol, which is I think the government needs to address that. But we are so happy, sir, that you are here with us, and we have heard so many stories of how uh, in fact, how you protected, not only protected the nation, I think you are one of the first fighter pilots in the Indian Air Force to actually land a plane in Brahmaputra when it was actually stolen. If I hope my memory goes correct if I remember, and
I recovered it from there.
you
We didn't land it there. We recovered it from.
you recovered from that. Okay, so जब भी मैं वो मूवी सली देखता हूँ, जहाँ पर commercial plane was landed in the Hudson River, so I remember
Yes.
those stories. So, and then from there on, you moved on because you were also heading, if I understand, the staff college, the behavioral science department at
Yes.
at Wellington College. I think that's at Ooty, if I'm not mistaken.
No, this was in Hyderabad,
This was
College of Air Warfare.
okay.
So I was part of the team which created the Center for Leadership Training and Behavioral Sciences. I was
And
heading that one.
yes, and if I understand correctly, the role was to monitor the behavior of the young pilots so that they are fit to fly. So no pilot
Absolutely.
fly without your permission because their mental stability, mental fitness is more important than the physical fitness. And after retirement, you have carried on this work of ensuring that people remain healthy mentally. They are counseled if there are issues, and which I think is very very important. Whether it is a regular mundane life or whether it is the life of a trading or investor, it is full of pressure. And we have seen that how you have saved many lives through your counseling sessions. So welcome, sir, once again. And we are very, very happy to welcome you here. Now over to you. I will open the floor, rather the Zoom application to you. And we also understand that you have launched, documented all of this, a very beautiful cover page as I can see on my screen. The name of the book is Wings of the Mind. So we would like to talk about your experiences, sir, and also how this book and what is in the book so that we can really order and understand what's in there for us.
Thank you very much, Puratan. Thanks a lot. And I know this association has been more than 10 years, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful association. In fact, if I may say so, I did not put this. There were two people in my mind whose stories, truly speaking, should have been part of this book, but they are likely to come up in my second book. One is yours, and one is there is a gentleman in Pune only. He's now my financial advisor. So, two stories because they are about resilience and persistence, about hard work, resilience, and persistence. Because I have seen in the last 10 odd years, जब हम first time मिले थे, and when we went also to Nanded and all those places, how this entire thing has developed as far as you are concerned. You left a very lucrative position and then set off on your own. And that was a journey itself which needs to be documented. But thank you very much. And I'm really honored to be here. The thing is that we can talk about Kargil a lot. And, it was a different era. It was something very different. And very close to my heart because we participated in that. But we will talk about that later. Today, we will talk about this subject, which is Wings of the Mind. And why I chose this basically is this name for this book also is many times क्या होता है कि we are working very hard. We try a lot of things, but we close ourselves within limitations. We put boundaries on our own selves. Because we put boundaries, we stop rising. And then what happens is many opportunities get missed out because we stop riding. And because this happens because there is a fear. Certain amount of fear aa jata hai. Uncertainty causes this fear. एंड अगर हमने कहीं पे भी टर्बुलेंस एक्सपीरियंस किया है लाइफ में, दैट stops us from rising above. And that is why my next line of the wings of the mind is rise above. We have to get out of these limitations. And then we have to go beyond that, because there are endless boundaries. Just now, when we started, when we were talking about you launching the newspaper, that is going beyond the one thing that we initially started, that you initially started, because there are boundless possibilities. And when you take on those possibilities, that is when you rise above and go beyond. And this, what I wrote down, what I put down here, is what I picked up in the Indian Air Force. And then also in the last 25 years of counseling. What has happened is, हम लोग सोचते हैं कि काउंसलिंग कर रहे हैं तो जो काउंसलर है वो he is telling people how to live their lives. No, truly speaking, a two-way interaction, because every person is a unique person.
Right.
उसकी अपनी यूनिक चीज है, उसका अपना यूनिक रोल है, लाइफस्टाइल है, और उसका यूनिक थिंकिंग है. सो द लर्निंग that even the counselor imbibes is phenomenal. So it's not just a one-way street. Okay, counselor, because he uses reason, so he's less, he doesn't get so emotional about it. So possibly he can see things जो the person who's emotional or overwhelmed उसको नहीं दिख रही. Answers हमारे अंदर ही होते. Each person has the answer. If there is a problem which is existing, answer उसी में है, आप ही के पास है. So counselor just, so this book or this topic which has come up is basically जो फाइटर फ्लाइंग में कट एंड राइट था, डिसिप्लिन सिस्टमैटिक मेथड था, उसको जब हम इमोशंस के साथ जोड़ते हैं, जो कि काउंसलिंग रूम में है, then how to use both the principles to get the best out of it. So this is what the intention has been with this book. Now I have been lucky to have lived two lives, truly speaking, as a fighter pilot and also as a counselor. A counselor's life and a fighter pilot's life, vast variation exists in this, but it has been phenomenal learning. And now I am at an intersection where I have about 28 years of experience being a fighter pilot and about 25 years of experience as being a counselor and a psychotherapist. So that is why I thought it is better that we put something now on paper and put it to people. And that is why this book has been written, and the cost of this and all has been kept so low so that it can be handled by everybody. It's not that, I don't want to put it into any elitist group or something like that. This book is targeting not one, two, or three. It is targeting all of us, students, because students struggle. They have got exams, they're fighting the battle, expectations, doubt. They're dealing with everything. And they're looking at their books with tears, actually, many times with tears. We talk about students under pressure. We talk about them, committing suicides or self-harm, as we call it. Similarly, we talk about parents and professionals. Today, if you see, when I have, clubbed parents as professionals both, because वो professional have, okay, there is a percentage of people who don't marry for whatever reasons, but actually speaking, moment professionals are also they're handling families. Even if they have not married, they're handling their other extended families, their parents, their brothers, their sisters, everybody. And they are carrying an invisible burden. Sometimes the burden burst out kar jata hai. So I call these people silent warriors, because up elderly le lo. In today's world, what happens is, it's not only the children who go abroad, but
Correct.
today opportunities are existing within the country itself. Now, when I came into Derabasi, where I am staying now, next to Chandigarh,
Right.
in this colony, there are about 70 odd elderlies, about above 75 years old. And वो सब अकेले रह रहे हैं. Husband, wife, some people are, single. And where, children are outside. they not necessarily they outside the country, but they are outside the city. They are, so far away कि immediately वो नहीं आ सकते. They cannot be the first call. So what really, and then these elderlies suffer solitude, loneliness. They actually don't know what to do. Life change हो रही है, systems change हो रहे हैं, technical चीजें आ रही हैं. They are lost. So I will tell you, all I did was create a club and call them once a month for a cup of tea and samosa. Nothing else. And that has, been taken off in such a manner that they look forward to getting together. All the elderly chit chat करते हैं, 2-3 घंटे हम लोग वहां बैठते हैं और कुछ भी नहीं करते. Yes, उसी में से टैलेंट निकलता है. कोई गाना गाने लग जाता है, कोई शेरो शायरी करने लग जाता है. It's spending time together. I remember one of the meetings where what happened was, one of the elderlies, while introducing himself, he says, जी मैं बिल्कुल वेला आदमी हूँ. इसको अगर कोई लोनली फील कर रहा मुझे बुला लेना, ताश खेल लेंगे या चाय पी लेंगे या मेरे घर. Now they have been here in this colony for so many years, but somehow this connection didn't happen. So these silent warriors also need to be looked after. And then the patients, we all become patients sometime or the other. Uncertainty about life. हमारे को अपनी बॉडी समझ नहीं आती, despite all AI and everybody coming in, we really don't understand our body, why we are having a headache. Sometimes we know, अच्छा ठीक है, maybe we got temperature related, but we really don't know what is happening.
बिल्कुल सर.
So there is uncertainty there also. So these silent warriors I wanted to address. How should they deal with uncertainty? They deal with pressure. And this book is also a testament of resilience and healing. Many times हम लोग को क्या होता है कि we get hurt in some manner or the other. हमारे साथ कुछ इंसिडेंट लाइफ में हुआ है. And it is not necessarily कि it will be falling into some bracket. The incident can be anything. Something has happened and now we start becoming scared. हम डर जाते हैं. हम जो कर रहे थे उसको करना बंद कर देते. Because there is fear. अगर फिर से हो गया, how will I handle it? So एक तो our healing becomes very slow. And if healing is not going to happen, then growth will not happen. But I can tell you that in my 25 years as a psychotherapist and as a pilot also before that, healing and growth both are possible. Giving up is something which happens, and when we give up, then nothing happens. So again, my point here is that we need to get together. We have this थोड़ा सा माइंड में रहता है कि ईगो इशू रहता है कई टाइम. किससे पूछें, क्यों पूछें, लोग हमारे बारे में क्या कहेंगे. But sometimes, and I can vouch for it, 99.9% of the people I've met, सबको कहीं ना कहीं कभी ना कभी किसी और की जरूरत पड़ी है.
बिल्कुल सर. एब्सोल्युटली.
ये जो हम कहते हैं कि नहीं मैं अपने आप अपना कुछ कर लूंगा, सब कुछ कर लूंगा, वो पॉसिबल नहीं है. We all need somebody the other at some time or the other in our life. And when we do that, healing and growth is possible. और जो वो scars छोड़ जाते हैं, जो कोई any incident may have left a scar, you can convert every scar to your strength. और legacy बना सकते हो. You can convert it into strength. And therefore, I invite everybody to look at this. I will cover some of the things here today, but to look at this because a lot of details are given in this book. A lot of things are given in this book so that you can chart your own course. किसी और का कोर्स लेके आप नहीं उड़ सकते. You have to make your own flight plan. You have to chart your own course. What all any counselor provides is only a guidance. गुरु भी गाइड करता है. Ultimately, आपने अपना कोर्स, you have to set your own course. And this is telling you, possibly giving you a template on how to set your course. And then you develop on that template. Practical tools, and there are many tools here, and how to weather the storms, and how, and quietly and steadily move forward. And one factor which I want to emphasize to people through this book and through what I'm saying today, remember that you have the ability to face it. You can handle anything. You will get through this if you just don't give up. कई टाइम ओवरवेलमिंग हो जाता है, सब कुछ इकट्ठा हो जाता है, but if you don't give up, you have the ability to handle it, because if you also accept the fact that you are not alone, help is available. सिर्फ आपको एक कदम लेना है. That's all that you have to do. And again, you take the field in which you are dealing in the stock market day in and day out. Many times समझ नहीं आ रहा है, क्या करूं? I am holding something or I am planning to buy. समझ नहीं आ रहा. Take guidance. Skill hai, but still one may need guidance. So hesitation is what kills us. But remember, you're not alone, and remember, you can get through this. So from the sky to the soul, many years of flying missions in uncertainty, we always dealt with uncertainty. कॉकपिट में घुसते ही अनसर्टेनिटी है, सुबह 5 बजे का मिशन है, 4 बजे के लिए आप ब्रीफिंग के लिए आ गए हो, वेदर कैसा होगा, एयरक्राफ्ट का रिस्पॉन्स कैसा होगा, एनिमी क्या करेगा, हमारे को कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम्स कैसे चलेंगे. Nobody knows anything. Oh yes, we have a plan, we make the plan. Yes, we know where we are going as far as the mission is concerned. Yes, our maps are ready. But there are only so much that I can control. There is a lot of things which are beyond my control. I cannot control the weather, and I cannot choose, oh yeah, aaj weather kharab hai, today I will not go to work. I can't choose that. So weather is not in my control. My aircraft is a mechanical thing. Hundreds and thousands of systems are working at the same time. Lot of things are happening. कौन सा नट बोल्ट चल रहा है, कौन सा something is already got one or two, I don't know. Yes, we do a lot of maintenance on it. So uncertainty and danger are possibly have been our companions, and that has led us into understanding courage and resilience. Many times, even when you battle in day-to-day life outside, in the last 25 years as a counselor, I realized this. When you battle outside, there are visible and invisible pressures on you after what you have done. So one thing that we learned there is to be precise with military precision. Now we can't limit this to the military, because discipline, somehow hum is word ko samajhte nahi hai ki we think discipline is military oriented. It is not. Discipline is a system of life. It's nothing beyond. आप हमारे शास्त्र देख लीजिए. Everything had discipline. Without discipline, no Arjun could have been there. It has to be discipline. Resilience hai, trust building hai, dealing with uncertainty and stress hai. So that is what I bring from the army district. And then empathy, understanding each other. जब हम understand each other करते हैं, then what happens is communication becomes better. Then our pressures reduce. And when we work with empathy, and that is from where strategies come out. When you have military precision and empathy combined, reasoning along with emotions, a combination of both, that is when a strategy will come out. One or the other will not work. A balance of both is required. And these what I have put in the book, they are all tested and tried. A lot of them have been written about by other people also in the world. So these are all tried and tested, these things. 3 core principles with this book that I have worked on. Dreams. We all have dreams. Make your dream an anchor. ऐसा ही नहीं है कि अच्छा भाई ड्रीम है, चलो circumstances चले नहीं तो हमने गिव अप कर दिया. Oh, your dream may take time to fructify. ये हो सकता है, कि आपका ड्रीम आपने मे बी बचपन में लिया होगा ड्रीम, but उस time possibly circumstances were that it didn't work. But don't give up on your dream. Make the dream an anchor, because once it becomes an anchor, then they will give you direction. कहाँ जाना है? There will be obstacles, roadblocks आएंगे, storms आएंगे, they will throw you off course. But as long as you know that this is what I want to achieve, you will be able to achieve that. Because वहीं पे जाके persistence, resilience, all these things will come. And then is discipline. Discipline को आप नेगेटिव की जगह लेके उसको एक स्ट्रक्चर के लिए ले लीजिए कि मेरे को एक सिस्टमैटिक तरीके से काम करना है। रास्ता ढूंढने के लिए मुझे एक कंपास की जरूरत है, तो मेरे को कंपास चाहिए. So that compass will keep telling me where the rasta is towards my dream, towards my aim, towards my target. और वो target और aim आप कुछ भी रख सकते हैं. We get overwhelmed कि दुनिया हमारे को बोलती है किसी, एक जमाने में, at the time when I was doing college and school, there were only 2 or 3 professions. I could only become an engineer or a doctor or join the armed forces. That's not the case. The world is open. Even in my career counseling, there are something like about 5,000 professions now that we counsel on. But more and more are being, added on every day. Everything can be a profession. Whoever thought, about, so many opportunities, so many pathways being available. But now they are available. Then we must use community as our strength. अकेले नहीं होता है, कोई ना कोई. We don't fly alone. Fighter pilots don't fly.
Okay.
We always have a wingman with us. Because there are many things जो मेरी blind zone में आए. So there is a wingman. There is a trusted person.
Yes.
He looks after me, I look after him. If you also notice, even commercial aircraft have 2 pilots. Very, very few commercial aircraft are single pilot, right, where, very, very less people fly. Now, my fighter aircraft are single pilot flown, but then we carry a second aircraft and a second pilot. So we always fly as 2 pilots, using the community portion as strength. It adds to us. Because then I can do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm also, my blind zone is covered. आज life में देख लीजिए, we all have blind zones. We need somebody who can guide us, who can tell us कि आपकी blind zone है जो, उसको cover कैसे करना है. So these are the core principles. If we keep these, first is not give up on your dreams. Put it down. Sometimes people feel it is very childish, but लिख के सामने रख लीजिए, दीवार पे लगाना कि मुझे करना है, and that will push you every day. And then use a structure and use help. Don't hesitate to take help. Ask for help. Don't expect that dunya will give me help. But I can assure you, now I am 67 years old. I can tell you that the moment you ask for help, the world opens up to you. कहीं ना कहीं से आपको help आती है. So use your community का strength to progress into what you want to do. In one of the things which I've said is when I talked about dreams and wings, there was a time when I was looking at the aircraft when I was in school and all, and watching those contrails, white trails behind the aircraft. Because to me, it was freedom. You freedom, free sky mein udo. And I wanted to be in that sky. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be up there in that freedom. And that became the dream. Oh, yes, I got, admission into an engineering college, Punjab Engineering College in Chandigarh, which at that time was the topmost college there. But dream वो नहीं था. That was the dad's dream कि भाई engineer बनना है. My dream was to be in the sky because that is what fascinated me. Though I did not know much about it, but that is what fascinated me. And that dream became a powerful anchor for what I became. following that. Yes, उसके बाद path forward लूंगा था, एनडीए के एग्जाम्स करने थे, कंपटीशन था, डाउट भी हुआ. It's a strong competition. Will you clear it? Will you not clear it? Will I clear the interview after the exam भी pass करने के बाद? Will I clear the medical? There's a constant things which were happening. There was doubt. And sometimes this happens to all of us. I remember an incident in this thing which I put into the book also. I was in one of the most prestigious schools in Chandigarh, St. John's at that time. And in the ninth class, I did not do well. So they said, we are going to give you art stream and not science stream. Now, to become a pilot, I needed the science stream. I did not need the art stream. It was not worth it. So I changed school. I went into a government school. They said you have to give an entrance exam and all that. One of the best government schools in Chandigarh, but yes, it was a government school. So mindset हमारा होता है, oh, I am studying in the most prestigious school. अब government school में पढ़ना पड़ेगा. But if your dream is clear, then it doesn't matter what you are doing. So I gave the entrance exam. I got selected there, and I came in the state merit. Now, despite coming in the state merit, despite colleges coming after me, please come into our college, please come into our college, when I had to go for the NDA exam, doubt to फिर भी आया ना. Was this a one-off achievement? एक बार ही state merit में आ गए, तुक्का लग गया टाइप, आगे क्या होगा? So that doubt will always come. And that is when discipline and preparation will help. And that is exactly discipline, constant reminder, and preparation helped me to clear even the NDA exam in the first attempt itself. Wow. Because of, okay, there is doubt, but then you sit down and you make your plan because your dream is clear what you want to do. And that is when seeds of resilience are set. Today we are very protective of our children. Resilience, every setback, every rejection, every time parents no बोलते हैं या दुनिया no बोलती है या school no बोलता है, that is making you mentally tough. Then you know इसको surmount करना. ये मुझे मिला नहीं है. I did not get my science stream in 9th class. I had to surmount it. Before that, it is there in one of the parts of the book. Before that, our family at one stage, we lost everything to a fire. I had to go to work when I was even in 6th, 7th class. But so what? Dream was clear. One can sit and cry about it, or one can say, nahi, koi baat nahi. Move forward about it. So every time you face an obstacle, don't become scared about it. It is making you mentally strong. Relate this to the market. What you're dealing with day in and day out. Yes, there will be times when there will be losses that you will suffer. Some decisions will not work out. You will suffer losses. But should you then sit down and do nothing about it? Or should you systematically analyze it, think about it? If you need to upskill your knowledge, and then move forward. So, childhood dreams, like I was talking about contrails, there is preparation, there is exams, there is training, there is discipline which happens everywhere. Then the transformation will take place. I went as a 17-year-old into the National Defense Academy, and I came out after 3 years as a combat-ready officer. 4 years of training. Wow. First solo flight, first time I flew the aircraft. When I went up into the aircraft in the HT2, a small propeller, driven two-seater. And the first time the controls were in my hand and I was flying solo, I was fulfilling my dream to be up in the sky, high there. Focus brought us to that. So anytime you want to achieve something, keep your focus. Yes, there will be a grind. Yes, a transformation will happen. Yes, speed breakers will come. but continue to move forward. NDA forced me, they taught me discipline, they taught me routines. Many times हम लोग discipline को समझते नहीं है. These are routines. आप इतने बजे उठिए, आप इतने बजे ये कीजिए, इतने बजे लंच कीजिए, इतने बजे ब्रेकफास्ट कीजिए, इतने बजे आपने कंप्यूटर पे बैठना है. Now today I am a retired person. I don't have to get up on any time. So if I don't have a routine, things will all fall apart. You still need to have a routine. Otherwise, your body system itself will give up. So the NDA taught us this, and then friendships and bonds that we form there, they help. And then the Air Force Academy, from that raw endurance, NDA taught us endurance, and now we had to change. See, life will change. What the National Defense Academy taught me was not there in the Air Force Academy. Now I was flying, different learning. Learning has to become a part of your life at every stage, at every point. एक बारी कुछ सीख लिया, वहां पे आप 9th क्लास 10th क्लास 11th क्लास के सिलेबस पे नहीं रुक सकते. Learning is a daily thing. You have to rewire yourself continuously. Cockpit, they teach you, yes, the MiG was, teaching us how to fly. Fear tha. You're flying at twice the speed of sound. The speed of sound is 1100 kilometers per hour. This aircraft flies at twice the speed of sound, 2200 kilometers per hour. Our normal jetliners fly at 35,000 feet. This guy flies at 57,000 feet, 60,000 feet, which is the edge of space. And you wear a spacesuit and fly this. So, airspeed, height, all these things which will teach you. Resilience yahan pe aata hai. What is resilience? It is not that aap kabhi ghabraoge nahi and there will be no panic. It is not, that is not going to happen. Aap ghabraoge. You will sometime or the other will feel scared. But then what are you going to do? You are going to bounce back. You're going to come out of it. And when you come out of it, you will come out of it stronger because of the habits that have been ingrained. People say, हमको react करना चाहिए. Our reactions are the fastest in life. No, we have proved it, and scientifically it has been proved that your response is always a thought out action. Reaction is an automatic survival action. Your response can become faster than your reaction. Why? That means your brain can be wired in such a way, your body and muscles can respond in such a way that your response can be faster than your reaction. And that is what all training is all about. How, to make this faster than your this thing. And then I said the wingman principle. No, nobody flies alone. Always have a wingman. Always have a trusted person along with you. Cockpit lessons, discipline and structure is what we learned in the cockpit. Discipline, like I said, is not about harshness. It is grounding, making systems. You have the wingman principle, and you have handling of pressure and resilience to act despite you have the ability despite the panic, despite the fear. Yeah, ये वो ad में बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, when you jump across a cliff, but truly speaking, actually वैसे ही होता है. वैसे ही होता है. At one time somebody told me, take charge of your life. So I told him how. He said, आज से कैलेंडर पे डेट टिक करना शुरू कर देना. I told him, how is that taking charge of your life? Calendar पे डेट टिक करना is taking. He says, even this small act shows you that you have the power to tick that date.
Right.
You have the power over that day. You have control over the day. So all that, that is how resilience will come in. There will be fear, things which will happen, but these things will carry on. Okay. Then you become combat ready. People take responsibility. What are we taking responsibility for? When we are taking responsibility, we are talking about every day we have taken responsibility, but don't let it overwhelm you. रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को भी, एक्सपेक्टेशंस को भी कंट्रोल में रखने की जरूरत है. So you must keep every responsibility, everything that you do also must be kept within control. Cannot be left outside. Everything has to be balanced. Managing the load, that is why you need to manage the load. Focus on the essentials. फालतू चीजों पे फोकस मत कीजिए. यू नो 4 घंटे हम फेसबुक ब्राउज करते जा रहे हैं. Have this, that is where the structure and the discipline comes in. Yeah, you want to be on WhatsApp, you want to be on social media, by all means be on social media and WhatsApp. Nothing is stopping you from doing that. But there is a time and place for everything. And that is when we are managing the load, we are also talking about trusting your wingman. And trusting yourself. Responsibility will always sharpen your mind. So take on responsibility. Some people say, अरे responsibility लेंगे तो सब कुछ मेरे पे आ जाएगा. बट आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लोगे तो आप एक्शन भी तो करोगे, आप रास्ता भी तो ढूंढोगे. Your mind is becoming sharper. Your reactions are becoming sharper. Your actions are becoming sharper. And that is when transformation will take place. And then you will start saying, I can handle anything which is thrown at me. कर सकता हूं. स्टम्बल करने के बाद आएगा, स्पीड ब्रेकर के ऊपर जाने के बाद आएगा, स्टॉर्म्स हैंडल करने के बाद आएगा, बट द कॉन्फिडेंस विल कम, आई कैन हैंडल एनीथिंग. एंड दैट इज व्हाट you become ready. There is always going to be a war with it. There is always going to be. Between the mind, when I say mind, I'm talking about reasoning and the heart and the emotions. Uncertainty is the biggest source of stress. We all want to know. But truly speaking, if we take about life, if suddenly somebody was to tell you that you are going to pass away from this world on so and so date at so and so time, you will not be able to live. So that uncertainty is better.
Yeah.
So uncertainty is all not negative, though it is a source of strength. It also protects you. In a way, it protects you. Because you will produce your best. Certain things you know, certain things you don't know. You will produce your best. And when you produce your best, then certainty will happen. Because now you are taking action and you are facing everyday challenges. So what do we do? How do we do this? When I say this, what is the exercise I do? Brief every day. कि अब मार्केट 9:15 बजे खुलनी है. आई नीड टू ब्रीफ. आई नीड टू नो मुझे आज करना क्या है, मेरा आज का मिशन क्या है, मेरा आज का एक्शन क्या है. A deliberate program and action has to be made. And then मार्केट में क्या होगा वो तो आपको नहीं पता. You know certain part of it. Today this is the trend. आपको ट्रेंड पता है. But you don't know everything what will happen in the market. You don't know how the market will react. A trend is something that you know. You have analyzed it. You know generally ऐसे होगा. But there is still uncertainty. So now this uncertainty will not make you freeze. It will not become overwhelming. So brief. Every day be prepared. Acknowledge that there is an unknown. Acknowledge it. Yes, there is an unknown. Now what do I do? Many times हम कहते हैं यार ये मैंने अभी तो किया था, मेरे साथ ये क्यों हो रहा है. No, don't waste your time on asking कि मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. The question should be, okay, how should I handle this? मेरे साथ ये हो रहा है, अभी हो गया है, so how should I handle it? So accept the uncertainty, because once you accept the uncertainty, your mind is free to respond. If you don't accept the uncertainty, the exercises in the morning itself, accept and acknowledge, yes, there is uncertainty. मैंने अपनी पढ़ाई कर लिया, स्टडी कर लिया, मार्केट को देख लिया, सब कुछ को देख लिया. When I am going on a mission, I have studied all the charts. I know where the enemy is standing. But वो कब रिएक्ट करेगा, कैसा रिएक्ट करेगा, क्या स्विफ्टनेस होगा, I don't know. So acknowledge it, and that helps you break down the mission. Don't try to see everything at the same time. आप फोकस्ड एक्शन लीजिए. जब आपने मॉर्निंग में आपका मिशन आपने सेट कर लिया कि आज मुझे ये करना है, नाउ फोकस ऑन दैट. इनपुट्स और लेफ्ट राइट में भी आएंगे. यस, सम सडन अपॉर्चुनिटी में कम अप इनटू योर हैंड, but mostly focus on one step at one time. Take one step. Many people, they have gone into kindergarten and they actually want to, give the exams for the 12th class.
Absolutely. Correct.
नहीं हो सकता. अगर आज आप, एक कुछ करने लगे हो, it takes time for you to graduate. And that time will always be there and you take that time to graduate. So, beyond survival, how do we survive? How do we find resilience is not bouncing back. It is growing forward. Oh, I am resilient. I will hold on to this. नहीं नहीं, मुझे आगे बढ़ना है. Because aim तो आगे है, anchor आगे है. My aim is to move forward. So resilience doesn't only mean bouncing back. It means moving forward. It transforms pain into wisdom. Yes, मेरे साथ losses हो गए हैं. Yes, मैं गिर गया था. A few days back, I saw a race. I don't remember the athlete's name. A women's race was happening, and this was an international level race which is happening 400 meters. And this girl, 200 meters, girl in the first 50 meters stumbled and fell. She was leading, she stumbled and fell. No, she didn't think. She just got up and she started running and she beat everybody. She came first. That is what happens. Turbulence that once threatens you. This is turbulence in her life. It threatened to break her, but it can also help you to motivate you to move forward. And therefore, if you really want to have realization, क्या करना चाहिए? You must have a purpose. Meaning होना चाहिए कुछ life में. So create a purpose. Why do you want to struggle? Why are you struggling? Why are you doing this? What is your dream? What is your anchor? So have a purpose. Also have flexibility. Because things will change. Suddenly AI has come today. Now AI has come to, मैं तो पेपर शेयर ही बेचूंगा, मार्केट में ही बैठ के पेपर शेयर बेचूंगा. नहीं होगा, पेपर शेयर से नहीं काम चलेगा. You have to have that flexibility, adapt to the new reality, and draw strength from others. That is where the connection comes. Talk, connect, discuss. Get out of that ego issue. कि मैं ही हूं सब कुछ. Actually, shared knowledge becomes stronger always, every time. So, make the connection. Healing of the mind must take place. Many times we work very hard, but we stop, we don't rest. Rest time is important. It is not wasted time. Body requires time to recover. Mind requires time to recover. So you need to rest. So, I can work 18 hours. Modi ji is working 18 hours. He is surviving. I can also survive. No. Don't follow A, B, or C. You need rest. If you need to perform to your best, you need rest. Part of the discipline, part of the structure must also be to rest. And तभी आपका mind and body दोनों heal करें. Acknowledging, कई टाइम अगर आपका लॉस हो गया है, acknowledge it. उसको छुपाइए मत. डैमेज हुआ है, acknowledge it. बिकॉज अगर आप acknowledge नहीं करेंगे तो आप उसको debrief नहीं करेंगे. अगर आप उसको हाइड करेंगे तो आप उसके बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे. अगर आप बात नहीं करोगे तो आप हील नहीं करोगे. आप रास्ता अपना करेक्ट नहीं करोगे. आपका डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस करेक्ट नहीं होगा. So acknowledge it. So this is the procedure. These are the exercises that we do. I do rest, I breathe, and I also at one time I acknowledge that this is happening with me. This is what has to happen. And then I seek support. मेरे को पता लग गया क्या गड़बड़ थी. Then I seek support, whether professional or from friends. And then I start rebuilding. मेरा portfolio crash कर गया है. But now I will start rebuilding gradually. Suddenly, I'm not going to go to a bank, start borrowing, and start putting large lump sums of money just trying to recover. In that, I am actually killing myself. So one step at a time, rebuild yourself. Turbulence ke baad, any time you fall down, any time you are knocked over, always take a step back, sit down, relax, and then start again. Create a compass for yourself. I just covered in my compass, north is purpose. You must have purpose. You must have discipline. East is discipline. Empathy, emotions भी चाहिए. दूसरों को समझने की capability भी चाहिए. And all this will then convert to courage. The courage to face everything, anything and everything. This is when we have always talked about leading others. This is actually leading yourself. You have to learn to lead yourself before you start trying to lead others. So if you have a purpose, if you are disciplined, if you are compassionate, then your courage will automatically come and you will be able to lead. Leading others with empathy, others को तो हम lead कर ही सकते हैं with empathy and resilience, helping them to fly through storms, being the wingman, and also with very high levels of communication. So again, here what will happen is trust, flying through storms through resilience to bouncing back to growth, and then communicating with others when you are under stress. Whenever you are under stress, don't stop communicating. That's the thing. Go to a counselor. Don't feel inhibited. अगर by chance आप family friends के पास नहीं जा सकते, go to a counselor, and that will help you to move forward. And that is when transformation happens. Survival हम कर लेते, survival तो हो ही जाएगा. Storm में से तो निकल ही जाएंगे. That is the first victory. फिर उसके बाद हमको healing करना है. क्योंकि going through the storm it is hurt somewhere ना. फिर healing करना है. And that is when transformation happens. So you follow the cycle. Yes, we will survive. Adversity को transformation तभी आता है. Acknowledge everything as you go along. And when I say acknowledge everything, the exercises that we do is write down. Always write down. Visualize कीजिए. Write down. What rehearse कीजिए. What actions? How do you want to take them? Routines बनाइए. Make your routine on paper. Mentally routines कोई नहीं बनाई. Mentally याद नहीं रहता. Routines बनाइए. And then always briefing and debriefing must always take place. So brief and debrief all the time. Remember, fighter pilots भी जब आते हैं, fighters भी जब आते हैं, तो repair तो उनका होता ही है. They can't keep flying. They all need maintenance. So similarly, we need maintenance. आप continuously नहीं चल सकते. Human beings also need maintenance. They will grow only if they get proper maintenance. So maintenance is necessary. Using dreams as powerful anchors, they will help us in throwing away the storms. And then that one little boy who wanted to touch the sky, then the journey starts actually. Because you made your dream as an anchor. So today, I will leave it at this, but this exercise, I want to, re-emphasize on this exercise. Whenever you are going to do something, you must rehearse every action. Visualization कीजिए, क्या होने वाला है, आज market में क्या होने वाला है, visualization कीजिए. What is your action going to be? Which is your entry point? Which is your stop point? All that must happen. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes. Brief yourself. Set your aim. And this, when I say this, don't do it mentally. Put it on paper. दो लाइन का, एक लाइन का, दो वर्ड का चलेगा, but put it on paper. And then make sure your routine is correct. Set your routines. Discipline comes in routines. Don't be ad hoc. So setting your routines, again, your routines must be set. I'm not saying that you cannot have flexibility in the routine. The routine itself can have flexibility. There's no rigidity in the routine, but there has to be a routine. We cannot function without a routine. Always debrief. दिन के आखिर में आज क्या हुआ? Take that 5 minutes to debrief. Then you will come to know. ये debrief does not mean कि आज मैंने गलत क्या किया. नहीं, आज मैंने सही भी क्या किया. Even that is part of debrief. So debrief, learn what you have done. And when you do that, that is when things will start moving. There is another, exercise, like I was saying, you need to write this. Always put a paper in front of you. Do not ask the question, why me? मेरे साथ ये क्यों हुआ? Change the question to, अब क्या करना है? हो तो गया. What now? When you start thinking what now, and put this on paper, every time you're in difficulty, write the first why me and cross it, and then write what now. Moment you put that, your brain will start functioning in the direction of finding a solution. और जैसे ही वो solution ढूंढने की कोशिश करेगा, आपको आंसर और रास्ता मिल जाएगा. नहीं मिलता है, तो take help. Then take help. Ask somebody, and that is how you move forward. So basically, the summary of this is dreams become anchors, discipline becomes a structure, resilience is through struggle. So don't worry about the struggle. Your community is your strength. Responsibility also adds fuel for you to go towards your this thing. And confidence through persistence over a period of time. एक दिन में confidence नहीं आता. Over a period of time, the confidence will come to you. So that brings me to the end of today's session. A lot of this is there in the book in very large details. And I would suggest that please get the book and go through this. But, as and when, Puratan, you would like me to come here and talk about more of these subjects, it will be my honor. I would love to come here and do that. And the book is there. It is there on Amazon. It is there on Flipkart. It is there on Notion Press. A lot of these exercises and things that I have said today are all present there. So, usko details you will get there. But generally, always create discipline in your life and routines in your life. That is how you handle uncertainty and pressure. If the routine is not there, then the problem will happen. Do not hesitate to take help. Take help. So that brings me to the end of today's session, this one. And if there is something which you want to ask, you are open to ask.
So, a lot of questions, and we'll open the floor for interaction also. But I think two messages from today that I take, and this is for myself. One is, routine does not need to be rigid, because it has been fed into our head. The routine means that it is a time-based thing. I mean, ideally it should be time-based, but don't feel guilty if you miss the time. It's the rigidity is not required. It is the routine which is required. And I think there are a lot of layers of messages. Or probably we'll have to listen to this webinar at least 2 times to be able to ask another set of questions. We would love to have more sessions on these. I think these are required. The second message that I'm taking away from today's session is the speak up. And I think for the same reason, the experiment that you did at, I think, Bassi Dera is what you call it?
Dera Bassi.
Dera Bassi. So with the residents there, they were not speaking to each other off lately. Though I was not speaking about, because one that I was there's an external face and there's an internal face. So it's a struggling one. I was not opening up. Now because when you're sitting idle thinking something, people would think that you are just not doing anything, but there is an inside which is possibly struggling. And I think decided this year that I'll say that, I'm going through a lot of challenges in my head. Just wait. Tell them the set of problems. There could be a problem from the CA side, there could be a problem from the partner side. Personal problems I've never expressed, never wanted to talk about. But I think it creates a fake image that everything is going okay, and then people call up at odd times and expect. So telling them that there are times which are reserved for self expressing more. So I think talking about you, and I think for the same reason, I think the Indian business communities were formed possibly, or these social circles, which is more of maybe mandir centered, where you go and express yourself, talk about your problems. And I think that is required. Plus, we also notice a lot of students that come to our center. They will sit in one idle corner, not speak up, and we know from the very beginning, day one. It takes about 2-3 days to observe, obviously. So we know from the initial days of the training that he will not make the most out of the training, because he's not using the entire facility. It is not just the facility, it is not just the trainer, it is the entire ecosystem of talking to unknown people, unknown self, unknown students around, interacting with them. I think that is a very important message, which I actually see happening at the center. We sometimes have to intervene and say that don't go and sit in that corner initial hours when you come and sit here, and at least try and speak to them and pick up the knowledge. I think this is a very, very powerful message. That the second one, because people are not talking to others, is what we realize most of the time, either on the headphones. We don't even realize that we're not doing. So either we are on tabs or on chat GPTs or whatever AI based. But while there's a normal level of not interaction, so in a community at this, like in 2025, that this is the normal level of communication. We don't talk too much, but this is normal, accepted. But there are people who are beyond that. The students are absolutely beyond that. So they do not even stick to the 2025 level, 2025 levels of interaction. I think which is risky, and then we have to intervene. So we like to have more sessions. Now I would open the floor. We have a lot of guests here today, very senior guests. We have Anagha ji is here, and she was heading CMA, which is the US chapter. We have Kamal Methwani ji, who's from Australia. We have Rajneesh ji, who's a senior leadership within a private bank. We have Sanjeev Bhaiya, who's himself is a Fauji. We have Saqib ji. We have Srinivas sir, who's the former, group CFO for a Tata vertical. I mean, for a certain vertical of Tata company. So I open the discussion. I think I think we'll have to probably replay this couple of times before we even draft. But a lot of things have struck while he was speaking. I think a lot of messages I could possibly relate to. So over to you, audience. You'd like to ask any questions, Rajneesh ji, Anaga ma'am, Kamal ji, Saqib ji, and there's obviously the book, which the link I'll be circulating. In fact, sir, usually what I've been doing is wherever we go and meet, we ensure that we meet a lot of people in a week. So I will be ordering copies of the book and presenting it to people. So we have started giving books as a gift, whatever books we can give. So I will be ordering multiple copies, and we go to schools and colleges and government institutions. We'll be ordering the books. All right, Srini sir, how have you been? I will request some of the questions. I know it's a Dasara time you are all with your families.
Yeah, I know. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, Ashwani sir. Hello, Puratan sir. First of all, thank you so much. I mean, the session was very insightful. Like, you have jotted down a lot of pointers, and me also being a trainer, like, so as Puratan sir said, I teach, college and a few professional students also who for USCMA. So the kind of problems which you have listed, I think, every person should learn from it, especially the discipline part which is there. I think even despite teaching for so many years, I also can say that I lack it to a great extent, to be very honest. So there's a lot to learn, and I'm really excited to read your book. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Hey Puratan, how are you? And at the outset, first of all, wish you all a very happy Dasra.
Wish you all the same.
And it's a very interesting session, enlightening session. In fact, I like this certain concept like the purpose of life, which is very, very essential, what you explained very well. We all need to have a purpose, of course. Without that, I think there's no meaning of living for anything. So that has really touched me. And also the discipline, and also what we need to introspect ourselves. Wherever we had a failure, we need to introspect ourselves. Why we failed, what is that we are lagging behind. As I said, whether it's a knowledge, whether it's a practice, whether it's a understanding, we need to do all those things and then start learning on that. And I also always believe that learning, there's no age and there's no limit. So it's a very good session, sir, and very happy to read your book and interact with you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you. Thank you, Srinidhi. Just waiting for a couple of more questions. So we'll take this. I think it's a beautiful initiative, sir, you have taken. I think this is a very, and you also mentioned about that there are tools in the book that they can refer.
Yes.
I was just wondering one thing, you have shown courage to the west side on the campus. Is it a purpose, or is it, the north I could understand, always want to be north of it. But why east and west? Is there a certain reason, or is it comes out?
No. You see, what happens is purpose always comes into the top portion.
Okay.
The first thing always must be purpose. Courage comes to the west. It's a cycle. Actually, purpose के बाद ये सब चीजें जब हो जाती है ना, courage automatically takes place. See, where will courage come from? If I don't have an aim, if I don't have a purpose, courage comes up because I understand that this is important for me.
Right.
I need to do this.
Correct.
Now, you see, I have seen why I brought this up here is, see, when I see a soldier marching up a hill, especially in Kargil, where we were on the foot, on the ground, and we had to climb up those hills, our soldiers had to climb up the hills.
Right.
Why would they go into the faces of bullets? They are at a disadvantage. They are not covered. Because their purpose was there. They were clear about their purpose. We have to win here because this is affecting and threatening our freedom. See, no soldier climbs up on, or no person for that matter, forget a soldier, anybody else. A mother. Why would a mother fight? A mother will fight the biggest animal to protect her child. Why? Purpose clear.
Bilkul, sir. Absolutely.
She will face anything and everything. So once your purpose is clear, then courage happens. But if purpose ही नहीं है, so then there will be no courage. Then courage will not happen. So purpose, that is why purpose comes towards this side, because all this adds to making the purpose happen. That is how that point comes. It is just that I have created my own, this compass for myself. Now, everybody can create a compass for themselves. Because उसमें आपका value system आ जाए. What is your value system? You have to think about it. What is your value system? Beyond which you will not compromise. Correct. And that is where you will show courage by standing up and speaking out and say, no, not beyond this. So all that will come from north up to the west in the first 3 quarters, and then you will take a stand. You don't take a stand right in the beginning. We don't take a stand right in the beginning. We are very tolerant people. But अगर मेरा purpose clear है, मेरे ideas clear हैं, मेरे value system clear हैं, then I will take a stand when it is required to be. So that is why it falls in, at that particular. I think so we'll discuss this, a lot of this. Any questions that you have, please by all means send it on a WhatsApp or a mail also. Yes. Or we can have another session to discuss this, whichever way you feel. Yes, one message I wanted to read out. I think it's already 8:20 now. From Rajneesh ji, he says, salute to you, sir. I'm just reading quote unquote. Wonderful presentation, full of motivation and energy. And you rightly said the biggest tension is of uncertainty, especially the one that you mentioned, that when you sit inside a cockpit, then everything is uncertain. Or when you are having your briefing, debrief meeting at say 4 a.m. in the morning, then we are having these meetings. I think everything is of uncertainty. And this could possibly, that's how life is. And I think he's just thanking you.
Also, we have Akib, who is also a very senior leader here. And he's saying the presentation prepares an individual personally and gives a process where everyone can get motivated and personally and professionally also. So I think we all look forward to reading this book, and I'm sure we'll also write reviews on this one on Amazon. I request everyone to do so because Sir has been working on, not only for the nation, but also for, a lot of young minds and have saved their lives. So I think we should be really thankful. A lot of lives have been saved, a lot of families have been saved, especially people who the students, young guys who are going through a lot of stress. So I think we should do our bit and write good, pass on our reviews. And you've seen this, the how powerful the presentation was. So with this, sir, I think on this note, we'll end the presentation, the webinar here, and look forward to inviting you again in the next session where we can handle more queries. I'll send you a transcript of this one, a long form, which Zoom generates, and then we'll also upload and also send you the raw files. So thank you very much, sir. And
thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the reading. Thanks, Puratan. Look forward to meeting you.
Dhanyavad.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.